Good morning and welcome to Swing State News. My name is Lucas Whitty and today we are talking about the political climate of the state of Michigan. First off, I want to highlight a few reasons as to why the 2026 election cycle is very important on a federal and state level for Michigan, and why we should be following the elections this midterm cycle. On a federal level, the United States midterm general election in 2026 can shift things dramatically, and here's why. Congress is the legislative branch of our government, made up of 435 members of the House of Representatives. Michigan fills 13 of those seats, and 100 senators, 2 per state. Congress provides a check and balance on the executive branch of our government, which is led by the president and vice president. Currently, out of the 435 House representatives, 220 of them are Republicans and 213 Democrats, and 2 vacant spots. Out of the senators, there are 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. A change in the composition of Congress can create a dramatic power shift in the function of the current administration. U.S. members of the House of Representatives serve 2-year terms, and U.S. senators serve 6-year terms. None of these members of Congress are limited to a certain amount of terms, unlike at the state level for the state of Michigan. On a state level, Michigan has 110 state representatives and 38 state senators. Just like the federal level, state representatives serve 2-year terms. However, state senators serve 4-year terms. In the state of Michigan, we have term limits for our state legislature. Previously, members could serve up to 14 years, 6 in the House and 8 in the Senate. But in 2022, there was a change to the state constitution limiting them to 12 years in total, 12 in the House, 12 in the Senate, or a combination of the two. Currently, out of the 110 Michigan state representatives, 58 of them are Republican and 52 of them are Democrat. And out of the 38 state senators, there are 19 Democrats and 18 Republicans, meaning one district is vacant. The 35th district in Michigan is vacant due to Kristen McDonald Rivet resigning to serve Michigan's 8th district in the U.S. House of Representatives. A special election has been appointed by Governor Whitmer to fill this spot with a special primary vote to be held on February 3rd, 2026, and the special general election followed on May 5th. There's more to come with this on a separate video. With all that said, let's talk about Michigan on a federal level. All 435 members of the House of Representatives will be voted upon this November, and like we said, they all serve 2-year terms. So we vote for them every presidential election and midterm election. The state of Michigan holds 13 of those seats, with 7 of them being Republicans and 6 of them Democrats currently. Each of these representatives are to represent close to 700 to 800,000 people in their district. The United States Senate consists of 100 members, 2 for every state, and they serve in 6-year terms. There are 3 classes of senators, meaning we vote for 33 to 34 senators every 2 years. However, this year we will be voting for 35 senators in this upcoming election, and here is why. Senator Marco Rubio from Florida resigned from his seat to become the U.S. Secretary of State, and J.D. Vance resigned as he was elected Vice President of the United States. Now let's get back to Michigan. This November, one of the 2 Senate spots for the state of Michigan will be voted upon. Sometimes this means the seat doesn't change if the existing senator wins. However, Senator Gary Peters announced he will not be running for re-election. Senator Gary Peters won a seat in 2014 and has been representing the state of Michigan in the U.S. Senate since 2015. We will know more about who the candidates will be later this year after primaries are held August 4th of 2026. I should note that Senator Alyssa Slotkin won her seat in the Senate this past presidential election, so she will be serving in that spot until at least 2031. Now, let's talk about Michigan on a state level. Michigan is also voting in a new governor during this midterm election, as Governor Gretchen Whitmer is term limited. Gretchen Whitmer won her spot as governor in 2018, where she became the state's 49th governor and has been Michigan's acting governor since 2019. Previously, she served in the Michigan legislature for 14 years. From 2001 to 2006, she was a state representative and won a spot in the state senate where she served from 2006 through 2014. She served as a Democrat leader in the state senate the last 4 years, making history as the first woman to lead a Senate caucus. Michigan will also be voting upon their state representatives. State representatives are to represent 77 to 91,000 residents in their district. Once again, I want to reiterate that there are 110 state representatives. Currently, 58 of them are Republicans and 52 of them are Democrats. All of these representatives will be voted upon in this upcoming election. We vote for them every 2 years, and they can serve up to 6 terms, 12 in total. Michigan state senators are voted upon in a gubernatorial manner, meaning they get voted upon on the same 4-year basis as the governor, which just so happens to be this year. There is a lot of voting happening in this upcoming election in Michigan. There are 38 state senators, currently 1 spot vacant. The 35th district, as we said earlier in this video, will be filled May 5th of 2026. This is just to fill out the remainder of the year. If they want to serve the full 4-year term, they will have to file, run, and win again this November. Currently, out of the 37 acting senators, there are 19 Democrats and 18 Republicans. Michigan state senators are to represent 247 to 273,000 residents in their district. Alrighty, I know this is a lot of information to dump out there. This doesn't even include townships or counties. A lot of this information isn't out there because the deadline to file to run is April 4th of 2026. For major party candidates and July 16 for no party affiliations. My advice to you, if you want to follow along and stay informed on what affects you this November on the voting poll, is visit this website, fill out your information, and once we get closer to the primary, there should be a ballot preview you can follow. Also, to follow along, you can subscribe to this channel, and if this helped you out, hit a like, or if you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment, and I will try to interact with you as much as I can. Thanks for watching.